Ah, hello, welcome again. Another Wednesday night, another Wednesday when I'm here. Yes, I actually seem to be making this quite a regular thing now. You must excuse me, I'm just putting the airbrush back together after doing some spraying because you may remember last week when I said that I would have to spray the universal carrier before I could go any further. Yeah, I've just done it about half an hour ago, so it should be dry for when we get round to putting it together tonight. And tonight, I don't know what's going to happen to the live stream or anything like that because the weather is rumbling around all of outside, and I'm up in the gods, so hopefully it doesn't strike the chimney and put it through the roof. So that, yeah, that's where hopefully it's not going to affect anything. I keep thinking I can hear somebody putting the bins out, but it's not like that. Anyway, what we're going to do tonight, well, we've got an hour and a half and it's roasting up here. Now whether I can last an hour and a half, I'll just get rid of this rubbish. Whether it can last an hour and a half is another matter. However, it's not whiskey tonight. A shipyard IPA. Yeah, that's IPA, but I'll take that one instead. So yeah, look at the. Can you see how hot it is in here? Even the beer's sweating. So let's open this, yeah, because it is the virtual pub. So yep, do feel free to join me. Have one yourself. Have one yourself, governor. Yeah, there's a tab behind the bar, so help yourself to a nice beer or something long and cold and refreshing. Because I think tonight we're going to need it. Yeah, Chris said don't mix the IPAs. If I run out of this and it's still getting too hot, yes, I might mix them. So, right, let's see who's in. I know there's one or two of yous in this evening. So, thanks for coming along. We'll say hi to everybody. There's not that many of you, so I'll try not to miss anyone. Oops, wrong button. Right at the top, I think my chat's been throwing itself in and out, so I've got Dad as the first one in tonight, but I don't think he was. There was one or two others in before him. Then Nat, Dexterous Crafter, Eric Grimm, Chris, Gemma Williams, Dad again, Eric Grimm. Then you're talking between yourselves, and then I came in. Lynn says she's in as well. Hi Lynn, how are you? How is it as hot over in New Mexico as it is here? Graham McRobert says, am I on the whiskey tonight? I did consider a whiskey, but I thought a whiskey was a bit more of a long drink and a nice drink with your pyjamas on and your dressing gown in front of the fire with the slippers on. But tonight I think I'll stick with an ale, something long and cold. Right, so we'll carry on down. And that's in. Zadster's come in as well. Good evening. Michael Stroman. Good evening. Quanaman. Who's else? Jimmy Bond. Hi, Jimmy. The one or two other. Yeah, everybody's just talking amongst themselves until we're getting started. Butcher that model. Yep, he's in as well. Yeah, I did. Apparently, I sent him 7 reminders that the channel was on tonight, so I didn't want him to miss it. So, right, yes, most people are in. So, thank you very much. If anybody is out there that's not in chat, come along in chat. If you join, I think I don't quite know how Fox does it on a Monday night, but yeah, if you are watching this on YouTube. Just come along, join the live chat. If you're on another platform, if you're on a phone, you'll find it in there as well. But yeah, you can't really send me an email because I haven't got any emails open. I must generate an email address for this channel. But anyway, what have I been up to this week? It's been quite a busy week so far. I've done some locals for a friend. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but I think when our football started, he may not be around to see these. But I've been doing some weathering of locos. This is a class 37, commonly known, also known amongst the railway aficionados as a tractor, because apparently it sounds like one. So I've been doing some, as I explained before. I don't know if you can see this with the lights. Just try to. I've been doing some weathering on the wheels and the lower body, and the other one in here. I'm not sure if I showed you this last week. This is a class 47. So once again, all nicely detailed, beautiful models. The fantastic locos, a lot different to the days when we had our Hornby train sets, but these are superbly detailed now. It's even got a little coupling hook down here and all the detail for that. But that's what I've been doing this week, as long as well as the Titanic. That's over there, but I can't drag that over to show you because it's far too big, so I've been on with that. And of course, if you caught it on Sunday, Baneblade. Yes, hopefully you remembered to come along on Sunday for the Baneblade. But next week it's Chris's turn, so Chris will be doing his build next week, and then I'll be doing mine the week after. So yeah, you won't get fed up with Baneblades and things. So what are we going to do this week? Well, I've got this little chap. He can stand and watch now. Just try to, if you are trying to catch my attention in chat, please put it in bold. That way I can catch it and see. Because I spend a lot of time building and don't look at I don't look at the chat when I'm building away. But anyway, what have we? I think we can this week carry on again with the Universal Carrier Mark II European campaign. And look, I painted some bits. The paint's only just dry because I forgot to do it. So we can at least glue some things together this week. Chris says, Ted, how about a team up Sunday on the first Sunday of the month? What do you think? What do you think about that, guys? First Sunday of the month for Ted and Chris together. We can try it out, try our skills, and then we're not talking to ourselves, which it seems to be a little bit these days. God, it's hot up here. So, right, where were we up to? Right, what's everybody else been up to this week? Have you been out and about enjoying the sunshine? Have you been modelling? Have you been back at work? Some of you have I understand, have gone back to work. So are you one of them, or are you still off work? Like me, still kicking your heels. Who else is coming? AJ's coming as well. So good evening to him. Wayne Hayward. Apologies if I've mentioned you once before. Sprue where is the fox tonight? Hey Fox, it's a Baneblade. His answer's back after doing the washing up. Good lad. Spiddy Q said, nicely reminded, that's bin day tomorrow. Yeah, it is bin day. As I say, I keep hearing these rumbles of thunder. So hopefully it's not affecting things too much. I did try and alter a few settings in Streamlabs as well, so it might hopefully iron out the choppiness. We could try again if not. Chris said he just finished a glass of brandy. Was work that bad today? He needed a glass of brandy to settle down with when he got home. Nubs. I also thought if this paint wasn't dry in time, I primer coated this guy as well, so we could have painted him. but it seems to have been alright. What I've used for this is, I've lost it. Where's it gone? I've used AK Rail Colour, British Olive Green, British Dark Olive Green, PDF1. Apparently it's a true colour for this period of military vehicle. I don't know if you've heard of the real colours. They do a huge book explaining all about the colours and things like that and how they got them. It's really interesting. Very expensive, but interesting. Right, what shall we do today then? Right, Eric says a train. Yeah, I have been filming the weathering on this, Eric, as I think I mentioned in the Sunday night's stream, that I've been weathering the train, and I have been filming it so soon. I'm hoping to get the filming finished tonight. After this stream I'll do a little bit on that, and then over the next few days I'll put it out as a you can watch too video. Right, where were we? So Dave, how are you getting on with yours? You're building the universal carrier as well, so how's yours coming along? I think this week we can at least glue a few things in. So what we need, glue, and because we painted it we need some rubbing sticks. I know that the Tamiya extra thin will sort of work through the paint, but I do like to get a proper sort of fix onto the plastic to plastic as much as I can. Sometimes it's just a matter of scoring the paint. You don't have to take it all off, just to give the glue a little bit of extra chance to get through the paint. Some of it's quite tough, especially if you're getting into enamels, but acrylics are usually pretty good for the Tamiya extra thin to get through. And we could just take a little bit in there. Dave sent me a picture of his universal carrier. He's much further on than me, so he'll be able to tell me of all the mistakes and things and everything else that's going wrong. I wonder why chat had stopped then. It's because I had pressed the wrong button. Dave said he's on at page 6 now, and he's gluing all the bits and bobs inside it. Yeah, I did when I painted this today. I did think of chipping, but then I'd already sprayed it green. I'd started spraying it, so the chipping will have to come round to post chipping, doing it that way. Hello, you're already losing the colour again. So sometimes all it needs is just the tip of the knife, just to drag along the paint and just score the surface, just to give the glue a chance to get in and under there. I did a bit of reading up on the Mark II universal carrier today, because we've had something to do, and there's quite a few thousand of these made, and even the Germans had them. Yep, correct. They had Weimar Bren carriers, captured trucks. They changed it from the Bren carrier to carry their own German machine gun. Sorry, I can't remember what type of machine gun is on the German side. Is it the MG37 or something like that? Dave said there's no problem with it, just throw some Tamiya extra thin in the box, shake it all up, and a model falls out. That's what I do like about some of these Tamiya stuff. It is pretty easy, no thinking about it, and it comes out with a fantastic model. Speedy Q said it's MG42. Dave says the post lady dropped off his new kit this morning, the quad tractor and 25 pounder gun. That is a nice kit. That might be a must get after this. Mind you, I am building up a bit of a stash now. Speedy Q says there's another one, but I don't remember them. But I can't remember either. Let's have a look back through chat, see where we're up to. Ostrich 9000, good evening Ted and Chumps. Good evening to you. Scott Sutherland, good evening Scott. How's life up there? Yep, and Chris is back to Chris's suggestion about getting together on the first Sunday of the month. Could be, yeah, we could do that. Bottle making mayhem. Hello. Right, and I did, if you remember, pointy stick. If you remember the handle last, I think I glued it on last week. Can't see it now because of the colour there, just that bit there. If you remember, I glued it on the wrong way around last week. I managed to salvage it just in time, and it does sit a lot better now. It actually looks like a bit of a sledge there. Oh. Diesel powered sledge. Now these are going to be painted, and also the seats need to go in. So, do I do them now, or do we do them? I don't know what, we'll put the back on. Put that on there. And then we can look at getting some paint on. Drink, gosh, hot. Up until just about while the pre-roll credits were rolling, I had a fan on in here, but I think it's too noisy. You wouldn't be able to hear me. If it was whiskey tonight, there wouldn't be anything left now, because it's damned hot. So that Wednesday nights are your Warhammer free nights. Try not to mention. We'll try not to mention Warhammer, but if somebody brings it up in conversation, we'll go along with it. Model making mayhem, making reference to Dave's trees. How are your trees? Did you ever make that weeping willow, Dave? And the post lady is dropping gorgeous, about 26, blonde and a size 10. It's not like my post lady, post man. I think what I enjoy about this kit best is getting around to painting it and weathering. And hopefully you can come along on the journey when I start the weathering. Klaus Flugelsfans. Good evening. I think you've just changed the name for me to pronounce it. But welcome anyway. As is the usual way when the Brits spray any, colour anything or paint anything, especially their armour, everything is given a coat of the same colour, including the seats, the knobs and dials and everything like that, and it looks a bit monotone, but until then, until we start and add some colour, it'll bring it all to life then. Dave said no willow yet, so he hasn't made the willow tree, but tomorrow on his channel, if you want to find out water effects, Dave will show you how, in a good old Blue Peter fashion. And, no doubt including some yoghurt pots and sticky back plastic. While I'm making mayhem, yeah, a pint of whiskey. Ted must have a cast iron liver. I wish, yeah. Hey, and don't forget, it's Father's Day on Sunday, innit? Yeah, Father's Day. Hint, kids, if you're watching, some nice whiskies on sale in Tesco. Bargain. Never know, they might be watching. So if anybody out there is wondering what to get the dads for Christmas, it could either be an E-Models voucher so they can choose themselves, or booze. Yeah, or slippers. Yes. So, thinking, it looks like we've got the makings of a pretty nice kit. On that one, I don't think I'll glue these on yet, but it's, yeah, look at that, it's almost done. I'm not going to glue these on yet because I've got, I think, some work to do with a little bit of painting on the inside. And I need to get these lined up as well. Ah, yes. Yeah, to line it all up when it comes to building this is, yeah, there's lots of locating rails and things on this. Need to make sure they are lined up and all the gaps close. So that's that. So, paint seats. It also tells us, I did notice it tells us right around here somewhere, to start putting decals on. In section 3, before it's finished, it's telling us to put decals on in there. It's a bit early yet for that. So, we've got to paint these leather seats. Let's get some paint. Jamie Bowen said he's got the Airfix 135, the Panzer, got the Airfix 135th Panzer 35T and a 172nd Bristol fighter. Has he got a new job today? Well done, Jamie. Yes. Nice to hear people getting jobs rather than being put out for them, so hope it goes well. Yeah, more spending money. Paint. Right. I do know that it's telling us to paint these in a leather type colour, so let's get on with that. But I don't have any leather. The nearest I've got is German camo medium brown and a chocolate brown. I think we could probably work with these, and by the time we weather it up and things like that, it'll be looking about right. Now then, what I have done is painted on the sprue. So don't forget, everyone, belly and bench, what's been going on today. Has it really been roast dinners this week? In all this weather, all this hot weather. Wife makes a suggestion. What would you like for your dinner tonight? How about a roast? What, in this heat? No thanks. Chris says, Ted, isn't your YouTube channel birthday coming up soon, or did you miss it again? I don't know. I don't know when it is. Is there a way to find out how long we've had YouTube channels or the dates it started? Sorry, I'm going away from the mic there as I was throwing things in the rubbish. But yeah, I'll get my paint pots. Pill containers. Got loads of them, because when you get to my age you do. So shaky shake. It's Viejo. Nice and easy to work with, especially painting in small sections. Chris says I can look at lifetime in the Studios app. I'll have a look at that later. That brush, I think. And a touch of thinner. I use hairbrush thinner. Just a drop, not much. Put a bit in there, put your paint in there and mix the two in there. Dave said belly was gammon and chips, benches appeared in 28mm zombies. Is that Warhammer? Oops, far too much, never mind. So, takes about there. I see now that lockdown is starting to open things up a little bit more, and certainly campsites are opening. I would think soon that holidays and things would be on the agenda again. So has anybody got anything for holidays planned? So what we're doing here, we're just thinning this Viejo chocolate brown. I think it was chocolate brown. Just thinning it down really thin, and then we can start and paint. So I could relax now and chat and paint at the same time. Dave says they're not Warhammer. That's from the Zombicide. They're from the Zombicide tabletop game. What? Something else as well? So when this video, people knock it, but I find it's pretty good for brush painting. It covers fairly well. The only thing about it, it's not very strong. It's not a strong paint. So if you're going to do a lot of handling, particularly if you were to paint this guy, I would suggest when you're painting him, leave him on the clip like this, because if you start painting his trousers and then let them dry and then you paint it, hold his trousers to paint the top, the paint will wear off, so you'll end up doing it again. So it's not a very strong paint, but it does work. What we could do here, I've picked all the wrong colours really, haven't I, for showing on screen, showing on the video, because it... There, that's a bit better. Because if I make it brighter, if I make the screen brighter, open the exposure a bit, everything else in the background all gets washed out. Nat says tonight she's had in the belly sausage, cheesy chips and egg. Bench empty tonight as having a lazy night watching me on the big telly. Thanks, Nat. Yeah, have a lazy night. Have you not got the sewing bee on split screen? All the ladies are watching sewing bee. I thought with your interest in sewing and things like that, sewing bee on a Wednesday night will be a must-have. I actually watch it because it's quite good, really. It's quite good on catch-up. Not that I could ever sew. But I'm making Mayherb says belly pepperoni pizza and iron brew bench. Nout. Yeah, that's fine. That's the way. I've had this past week. I have had a permanently full bench. It gets cleared off for each event or each model, but it's gone from the locos that you just seen. It's gone to Baneblade. Then it's cleared tonight. It's been cleared tonight for the Universal Carrier. Then it'll be cleared again. Won't clear it for Sunday because it's Chris's turn, but it'll be cleared again for Monday for the Monday night live stream, and then repeat. Dave says no holidays this year as she who farts in bed is baking me skin and wants me to take all the kids to South Korea next year and dragging me with her. South Korea? People actually go to South Korea on holiday? Or is it North Korea that you go and don't come back? Right, once again, pick up some thinners, pick up some paint, and we can start on the base of the seats. You can see these a bit better. Because it's thin, it's going on like a wash, but it'll dry out. Then a base to build on. Somebody once says 2 thin coats. Is that right? Lynn says belly honey roasted peanut butter and Nutella sandwich. Ah, peanut butter and Nutella. Neither of them do anything for me. I'm sorry, Lynn. She says Julio's flaming hot chips and H2O. I think you mean water. Yeah. Lots of water. I've got a Fitbit I inherited off Skylar. That's why it's purple. Where it tells you, it keeps track of your water intake, and apparently I'm not drinking enough water. It just tells you to input your water intake. It doesn't tell you to input like a pint of beer. So Lynn says Sewing Bee will be on catch up for tomorrow. Really not got into it since you mentioned it the other week. She said really got into it, so you can watch since I mentioned it the other week. Yeah, good watch. It's interesting. Just TV entertainment. The wife watches it, so I was watching it regularly until I started a Wednesday live stream, so I've missed it sort of on TV since that. Right, what I've got to do with this is when these seat bases have dried off, I've got to do the edges, just around the edges in the vehicle green, because I forgot to do it. I should have painted them first. Must say though that this chocolate brown is giving quite a good representation for the leather. And once it's worked, once I've worked it a little bit and done some weathering on it, put some oily washes over it, it looked pretty good, I think. Wayne Hayward says, Lynn, don't know if you've read it, how do you do honey roast peanut butter sandwiches? It's Peter Pan honey roast peanut butter. I guess with all this extra heat, sunshine, best weather we've had for years is probably all taking us away from the bench and finding things to do outside. So is there any, what are you guys been up to outside in the sunshine? In fact, have you been outside in the sunshine? Because it's sure too damn hot to be at the bench all the time. I have to come up here in like short spells and do a little bit, lose a stone in weight and then go down. Hopefully by the summer next year I will have the windows in the roof so I can ventilate a little bit. Because normally the advice is that that if your house is too hot, is to open the loft hatch so you get circulation of the air straight up in the loft. Yeah, we've done that in here. It's just that I'm in the loft. Dave, if you're listening, have you considered the aftermarket tracks and running gear for this? I know that it was on sale in e-models, but they don't have any more. I'm not likely to know when they're coming back in. Have you considered it, or have you looked at the old aftermarket tracks, or does anybody know about them? Because it would be nice to put some on here. Graham says he's been out in the rain, plus thunder today. It's actually quite nice to go out in a thunderstorm. Not sitting under trees and things like that, but it's sometimes quite nice because the rain's warm, and if you're a little bit sheltered, you can watch the storm moving around. Certainly where we are, you can often see the storm come across Irish Sea, and it might circle right round, so you might not actually get wet, but you can sit at the beach and watch the storm go right round over the hills. I quite enjoy that. So Len says that once Connor and Paige are sorted from school, finishing at dinner time, they've been going outside, they've been playing and leaving her to sit and do the cross stitch. Yeah, I've been sat outside with the motorhome, because the motorhome's just parked outside the house, next to there's a big green outside the back of our house. It's common land, so the motorhome's parked on the edge of the road, parked on the edge of this common land, so we just wind the awning out, sit under the awning. Beautiful, just like being on a holiday. Dave's been at work, but he's off tomorrow. But next week he's on holiday. And he looked for the track. Can't find anybody that's selling them. I can find people that's selling them, but they just seems to be abroad, and I don't want to go through all the messing around of importing them and paying duty and things like that. So I might just have to stick with the rubber band tracks. But yeah, it'd be fun. Just show everybody how to do rubber band tracks. Lynn says, please send some rain to southeast New Mexico. They need it. I got an email from United Utilities today saying that it's been the driest summer for X number of years, and with everybody being off, there's a higher demand on the water supply than usual, and that even though we have had some rain, because over in Foxland, Manchester, they've had flash floods. It says even though they've had flash floods, it's not been enough. It's been the right rain in the wrong place, so it's still not topping up the reservoirs as fast as they're being emptied. Oh, okay, there we are. I think we're getting on with them. Leave them a minute. I haven't got anything to dip my. I was going to dip it in my beer. I've got anything to dip my brush in. Hang on a minute. Here we have some dirty water that I prepared earlier. Graham Roberts says he likes thunderstorms too. Yeah, I think they're amazing. Lynn says she doesn't think she's had rain since February or April. I think other than a few days, I don't think we've had much either. You know, and it's not been torrential or continual rain. It's just been a little shower. Oh, this is going down. Beer's going down well. Grabe says you need to stay in Scotland. You get plenty. Yeah, plenty of rain in Scotland. I'm thinking of coming to Scotland in my holidays, Graham. I'm thinking of getting the minibus, getting the motorhome, and just doing some distillery tours, going up the west coast. because the west coast of Scotland, if you've never been there, it is awesome. People, if you want to go, if you ever want to discover Scotland, go up the west coast, visit all the lochs and the castles and things like that, and the distilleries, and it's awesome. I need some black paint now. Oops, sorry. But yeah, Lynn, if you want rain, go to Scotland. If it's not raining, it's going to. I suppose it just makes sense in painting all this cab before we put the sides on, because it'll be a hell's own job to get in there, get the brush at the right angle to paint things when it's all together. So just, sorry, can't see it now. Oh, Graham says go for it. Yeah, it's a nice plus. Plus a mate's of his sisters has a wee cafe in Auburn. I've been to Auburn. It's nice in Auburn. Considering I just live a few miles south of the border. When it comes to holidays, everybody wants to head south. Devon and Cornwall. But I've always liked Scotland. I learnt to do my I did all my boating qualifications up in Scotland, up round the Clyde, Gaylock, Holy Loch. Beautiful areas. It's not often you can be doing a boating course and then you're just proceeding along on your set course to be met by a nuclear submarine coming across your bow. And of course Royal Navy take priority, so you have to wait. And then working with the MOD police, because that's who did our training for us. One day for a few days we're doing some marine training and navigation, and the next day we're not training today, we've got a job on. Oh right, what's that? Yeah, we're escorting a submarine to sea. So yeah, we're in a small boat escorting a nuclear submarine out to sea with all the tugs and all the crew on the hull of the submarine. Quite exciting, and amazing scenery to sail past as well. Primetime Model, it says evening all. Sorry it's late, but laptop wanted to do an update. Yeah, I had that problem even when I did mine today. I have to make sure now that I come up to set up like an hour earlier than the start time, because you can guarantee that you're turning your computer on and it wants to do an update. But never mind, glad you're here. Lynn says she'll look Graham up when she comes for a visit in a couple of years. Yeah, tell us when you're coming over, Lynn. If it's convenient, I'm sure there'll be more than Graham will want to meet you and come and show you around. Nat says she's got to call it a night. Good night, Nat. Thank you for coming. Dave says, Ted, I knew a girl in Morecambe, though she was a bit of a tug. Yeah, girls in Morecambe, Dave knows them all. Yeah. Morecambe's not far away either. I can look out my window and see Moke and Black Pearl and Hisham. Oh, right, let's see if we can glue these seats in now. We've been waiting a long time to do it. A4. That's that one. I think we can glue them in, then paint them now. We painted that bit. We painted the cushion so we can glue the rest of it in. I was up here painting. I was up here last night. And then I went downstairs after I finished. And the wife says, "You're all wet." I looked down like I am now. And my t-shirt was wringing wet. Horrible. It looks like I've put these bits in here wrong because they won't fit. Let's get the tweezer time. Excuse the noise, I'm finding my tweezers. They'll do. That'll. Right, I think if that's meant to sit on there, then they're at the wrong angle. I think I might be able to get away with just ever so slightly adjusting the plastic. Try not to snap them off. See, it gives all the secrets away when we build live, because you can see all the mistakes that will get made. So I think I'll glue that on there. Guano says Ted tweezers sound like his spanner box. Yes. The spanner that you want is always at the bottom. And you knew it was it. You know it's in there, but you can't find it. And you've gone through. Are you sure that you've gone through every spanner? And you can't find it. Right, this driver's seat, I assume it's driver's seat. It's going to be precariously balanced there until the glue dries, and then I can fold the seat supports up to fit. Otherwise, if I glue them now, because they are already glued in, they'll pull the seat down. Chris, you meant to say we cover up mistakes. We don't make mistakes. They're oh yeah, it fits. Yes, we don't make mistakes. They're just learning modules. We do them so that we make the mistakes so you don't have to. There, and I think that now fits. Well, it does on the right hand side. I'm gluing a few things together tonight. It's not your usual way. It's because you're not distracting me enough with chat. That's what it is. There's things being glued together. Cool, it worked. And that one needs a little bit more bending to fit. And it fits. Success. Oh, not a mistake, just a happy little accident. When I come to be building the digger on Monday night's live stream, I got to a stage where I couldn't do any more because of the way I'd set my bench up so that you could see what was going on. It meant that I couldn't see the small parts that were intended to glue on next. So sometimes it's not possible to build a full model purely online, purely live, because you just can't see it. Gosh, hot. And I've had a haircut. Another lockdown haircut. God, I'd be so happy when the barber's open again. Everybody would be going in with their try to remedy their lockdown haircuts. Yeah, I think that'll do. Where's my glue? Not mistakes, happy accidents. Bob Ross, yes. Bob Ross on time. Yes, he's on prime time. Yes. And I think it's, if you look on YouTube, you can find his son as well doing tributes to Bob Ross. I remember coming home from lunchtime from school, and there was Bob Ross. You could paint with, you could watch, or you could paint along with Nancy. Or there was another one. Does anybody remember that guy that used to do origami? You could do origami at lunchtime as well. You had to try and keep up with him because there wasn't video recorders, or you couldn't rewind it in those days. A6, that's this. Yeah, you can make a lotus flower or a camel or a swan out of a square bit of paper. Origami. But there wasn't much point in trying to attempt it when, you know, when it wasn't on, because you just didn't have a clue how to fold paper. Quanaman says he's got a short sword for saving money on barbers. They'll make a killing, won't they, when they go, but they can charge what they want when they open again, because everybody will be so desperate to get their hair done. That'll be 30 quid, sir, but it only used to be a fiver. Well, you want to pay? Just trying to, not quite happy with the fit for the chair. Oh, Marcus, yeah, I saw some kids today with water bombs, super soakers. Yes, I thought, what a brilliant idea. If only they made up giant super soakers for grown-ups. I should get a temperature gauge in here to see how it is, and then then I could work to health and safety and refuse to come into the loft when it's above a certain temperature. Right, as the leather on the chairs seems to have dried out, we'll try a different shade just to put some different colour into it. Is that too? It's too close. So German Cam medium brown is very close to chocolate brown. So we'll try another brown. We'll try tan earth. Yeah, Quanah says they do have grown-up super soakers, the power wash hose pipes. Model Maker Mayhem says, you know the rain earlier, it's stupidly warm. Yes, it will be. That's too bright. Never mind, we'll tone it. That's better. Just because you haven't got the right colour doesn't mean to say that you can't mix it. Now we'll wash that as well. And try to get this in the light so you could see it. What we can do now, we could just do a little wash. this may not be the actual way, a recommended way for making leather, but it's my way. I think that a leather seat will be a little bit lighter around the edges where it's worn away a little bit. That's too light, so we'll wash that out a little bit. Must have all seen this type of leather seat on old buses and things like that, old car seats. Although given that these things will, in the 1945, 1940s, these things are probably fresh out of the factory, so the leather wouldn't have had that much time to wear and crack and dry out. But the Mark Ones that were production pre-war, so we're not gonna portray the leather as all cracked and ripped and worn out. Yeah. Hot and humid, says Model Making Mayhem. It is. It's horrible. Well, it's actually quite nice. It's just uncomfortable. You can't sleep. And then when you do get off to sleep, it's time to get up. Yeah, it seems like that, Lynn. One guy gets to sit up high and the other one sits on the floor. Sort of ticket, the high seat, yeah, the high seat would be with the Brin carrier, the Brin gun here, and the low seat would be the drive. I'm ticking would be the driver. Let's have a look. Where's the steering wheel? Yeah, so the driver has the low seat, and the Bren operator, the gun operator, has the high seat, and the driver doesn't have a view. He hasn't got a little window to look through. He has to look over the top. So yeah, bad design. Just trying to just darken the centre of the seat a little bit. And what we'll do, we'll leave it to dry, and then we'll look at putting an oily wash over it. I've got some exhaust wash, aka exhaust wash. That's sort of like a brownie oily type wash that could just work on this, just the right colour. So there, going in. if you can see it. Model maker mayhem. Yeah, driving by peekaboo. Yeah, it would seem that way. Driver, you've just run over the colonel. Sorry, I didn't see him. Now we can take a little bit of this and we can try and just colour in these frames. Must say this AK real colour paints is pretty good stuff. I've used it on the excuse me. Yeah, I've used it on the Matador, both brush and spray paint, and it really has a good look to it. I don't know, yeah, I don't know if the colour comes across. It's really a nice matte colour. Tank designers. Yep, Maker Mayhem says tank designers. I wonder what they're thinking. Yeah, well, they're the guys that just designed them. They didn't have to drive them or work in them or live in them. What must those guys have been thinking in the First World War when they, yeah, when they designed, yeah, they didn't know any different then, but to design a tank, that if you've ever been inside one, I've been in them at the Tank Museum at Bovington. They're horrendous things. These things must be like little sports cars in comparison. It doesn't look like a comfy seat at all, Lynn. I'm not quite sure what the position was in the driver, with the driver. Perhaps all may become clear as the build progresses. That's that one. Big lazy boy chair. Could do with one of them now. It's pretty cute. Yeah, not a lot happening tonight. Just a bit of building going on. I think the heat and the cold's got to everybody. The heat has got to everybody tonight. Certainly got to me. But I've managed to glue quite a few things together, and it's looking like a big sub-assembly. Some quite nice bits and pieces to get round to painting at that. There's a nice grill that we can sort of highlight in there. Some rivets and things. Apparently a crew, a World War tank did a test in front of the Queen. Would it be the Queen or the King then? After it gone over a ditch and stopped, only 2 of the crew got out to salute because the other 3 had been knocked unconscious. I could quite believe it. Unconscious, gassed, burnt. And not a very pleasant experience to be in. So we seem to have got past the bits that were holding us up from last week, and then it's taking us on to the drives, and it looks like we've got some road wheels to paint. They might be an idea to paint them before we get to next week, and then we can glue them together. Got the axle to do, left rear suspension and the right rear suspension, front suspension. Yep, so there's 8 road wheels to paint, so and the tyres to do on them. So yeah, well, I'll hopefully get around to painting them before next week, if I don't run out of time again. Cool. Right. Guy Martin built a replica on his program. He did, yes. Did he do that in conjunction with JCB or something like that? They built a First World War tank and took it across to France. Amazing. And before we finish tonight, how's the stream been tonight? Has there been any jerkiness or fluttering or things like that? I can't see it at this end. I don't get to see it until I watch, if I ever watch the run back. Mayhem said it's been smooth. Good. Yeah, I did do a few adjustments in the back. Hopefully it might have smoothed things right. Good. And this storm must have passed over, because it certainly hasn't affected the stream. Has anybody any other plans for the rest of the week? Are we doing anything? Any new kits been on order? Because I know that E-models are sort of back to functioning as normal now, or as normal as can be allowed with us under the present circumstances. So, have you been ordering kits or catching up on the stocks, things like that? And it's not that far away from Christmas, so we can be making Christmas lists. The only problem now, I don't want to start handling this too much, because it being matte paint and matte green paint, it's going to show all the greasy finger marks up. So I'll probably have to start wearing gloves, so certainly before I get a clear coat on it. Lynn says it work, but she's taking a much needed nap after this. Matt got the Bell Kits Escort RS2000 on the bench, making a break for the Prince Eugen. That's quite nice. Yeah, the RS2000. Remember those? Yes. Wasn't. I'm not really a motorhead, but a petrol head. But yeah, I did remember the RS2000s and the Prince Eugen. Yeah, nice kit. Right. So I think what I'll do tonight, because I've come to the end of gluing things together and I'm absolutely dying in this heat. I know there's 10 minutes left as such, but perhaps we can call an early end to the night's live stream. I'll go and do a little bit. I'll go outside for some fresh air, and then I might have to come back and just do a little bit of finishing off, just try and cool it down a bit, put the fan back on, cool off a little bit. But yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll leave it for now, and I'll catch up with you all next week. It'll be Monday before you see me again, on the live stream on Monday night. Chris is on Sunday, I think at 8 o'clock for his usual war hamsters. And in the meantime, I'll leave you all, and thank you very much for coming in and giving it support tonight. Don't forget, if you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike it, let me know why, and I'll try and improve it for next time. But in the meantime, thank you very much for coming in and giving it some support and backup. But in the meantime, before I die of heat exhaustion, I'll leave you all to it, and thank you very much for your night. And enjoy yourselves, stay safe, look after yourself. Okay, bye.